especially since the economic recession of 2008. Corporate responsibility has been in the spotlight. However, this is not a new concept. 12 years ago, an organisation was formed in New York called the United Nations Global Compact. Since its launch, the number of cooperative participants has ballooned to 8,700 worldwide, which makes it the largest organisation of its kind. This organisation helps businesses gear their operations and strategies towards responsible practices in labour, in environment, human rights and anti-corruption. Today we're all going to give you a quick overview of how the UN Global Compact are important to firms that are engaging in international business. When businesses join the UN Global Compact, they are committing their operations and strategies to the 10 principles of the organisation, which takes us on to our next speaker, Nadine.
So these principles concern 4 issues, which are human rights, labour, environment and anti-corruption. And although the UN Global Compact is a voluntary initiative, the principles are actually based on binding declarations such as the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Me and Ben, we will now briefly explain what these principles are about. There are 3 principles concerning the environment. Businesses should support a precautionary approach to environmental challenges. That means prevention is better and for companies more cost effective than cure. Then businesses should undertake initiatives to promote greater environmental responsibility, for example through sustainable production. Then they should encourage the development and diffusion of environmentally friendly technologies. Then there is one principle concerning anti-corruption. Businesses should work against corruption in all its forms, including extortion and bribery. So they should not only not do it, but they should actually actively combat corruption. So now I pass the floor to Ben, who will present the remaining principles.
Thank you, Nadine. There are 2 principles regarding human rights. The first principle is businesses should support and respect the protection of internationally proclaimed human rights. This is by providing government businesses with healthy and safety working conditions and making sure that all parties are safe within the workplace. The second principle is businesses should make sure they are not complicit in human rights abuse. Governments and businesses should respect international guidelines and standards for the use of force, and privately and publicly condemn systematic and cautious human rights abuse. There are 4 principles regarding labour. The first principle is businesses should uphold the freedom of association and the effective recognition of the right to collective bargaining. Businesses should ensure that workers can and join and form trade unions of their choice without feeling intimidated or feeling any reprisal in accordance with national law. A second principle is businesses should uphold the elimination of all forms of forced and compulsory labour. Companies can have a policy not to benefit in any way or form from forced labour and have officials understand the concept of forced labour. Furthermore, another principle is businesses should uphold the effective abolition of child labour. Companies should be more aware of countries and sectors which have a high child labour rate and should respond to policies and procedures regarding this. Finally, another principle is businesses should uphold the elimination of discrimination in respect of employment and occupation. Institute company policy which make qualifications, skills and experience the basis for recruitment, placement, training and staff at all levels. And now I pass you on to Cameron, who will explain the benefits.
Hi there, so I'm just going to touch on what Nadine and Ben have just spoken about, the advantages of the 10 principles. So our business being involved in the UN Global Compact organisation, we'll be adopting an established and globally recognised policy framework for the development, implementation and disclosure of environmental, social and governance policies and practices. We will also have advancing sustainability solutions in partnership with a range of stakeholders, including UN agencies, governments, civil societies, labour and other non-UK business interests. Furthermore, they will also be benefiting as UN Global Compact has linking businesses, units and subsidiaries across the value chain. So a lot of businesses will be able to work together. Also, a business would benefit as they'd be able to utilise UN Global Compact management tools and resources to engage in specialised work streams in environmental, social and governance realms. And finally, businesses would be able to benefit as they'd be able to share the best in the emerging practices to advance practical solutions and strategies to common challenges. And I'll just pass you over to Gary now.
As Cameron was saying, there are benefits for any company entering the UN Global Compact, but there have been some criticisms levelled at the organisation since its formation. One of them being that it is very Western-centric, meaning that roughly around 50% of all the companies listed have been registered in Western Europe, meaning that the whole organisation could be swayed towards a Western way of thinking, which could marginalise some of the underlying countries and also some smaller companies in smaller markets. Another thing is the fact that the Global Compact has been a voluntary service the whole time since its formation. In the beginning, this was very, very, very badly run in the way that the fact that there was no monitoring process of whether the 10 principles were actually being enforced within companies. Since 2004, there has been a monitoring process where companies have to self-assess themselves and see if they are following the 10 principles. As you can see, this may impact the influence and effectiveness of the UN Global Compact as we move forward, as companies are still self-assessing themselves. We have no idea whether they actually are putting those 10 principles into effect. Also, the fact that it is a voluntary organisation, some of the companies entering into the UN Global Compact have been seen to be freeloaders. By signing up to the UN Global Compact, they can increase their influence, increase their profitability and their public image without actually doing much work. Now they may have up to 2 years before they can actually get delisted, but they've got 2 years where they can increase their public image. That may be something that may decrease the influence and importance of the UN Global Compact moving forward. On behalf of our group, I'd like to thank you for listening to the presentation, and if you need any more information, please refer to the references on our presentation.